attacking whites? Why is it always acceptable when whites get attacked? Why, when a white guy defends himself on the New York subway from five guys, that happen to be black, is he called racist when he shoots someone they're attacking him? It's called survival. And I'm against the downtrodden. I'm against the innocent being ganged up on by thugs. I don't care if it's the Ku Klux Klan 150 years ago trying to attack blacks who they knew owned firearms.
And laws against blacks owning guns. I'm for everybody having freedom. Now, with that preface said, that's not even the issue in this new video. And Paul Watson's doing an article on it for Infowars.com. President Obama announces the 2012 launch of African Americans for Obama. Listen to this. I mean, this minute 42 piece is so mega jam-packed with hypocrisy, deception, lies, fakeness, posing. I mean, everything he's saying is the opposite of what Obama really is. I mean, Obama is a horrible teleprompter reading, from birth, CIA creation, on record, who is for torture, secret arrest, endless wars, constant invasions, financing al-Qaeda invasions, proxy wars, destroying the Bill of Rights, bankrupting our country, shutting down our power plants, boosting our power prices, and the big mega banks that fund Mitt Romney are all funding him. All you Republicans that like Mitt Romney, I guess the few that are out there, you should love Obama, because past the rhetoric and past the gay marriage football issues, they're the same people. Look at who puts money in them. I mean, this is not 2 plus 2. This is, there it is. Is it 2 plus 2 if you see a red Volkswagen to say that's a red Volkswagen? No, that's a red Volkswagen. That's a red fire truck. Do you have to think, if you're watching me on Prisonplanet.tv wearing this red shirt, to say that's red? Or reddish pink? I guess salmon you could call it. No, it's not 2 plus 2. It's there. It's red. Okay? But the big issue here, the big issue, the mega issue in everybody's face now, he says, listen to his exact words coming up. He says in here that activate in the churches with your election teams. I mean, this is according to what they enforce. So if it's not illegal, what's illegal? Because they selectively enforce against conservative and libertarian and states' rights and anti-Agenda 21 churches, and they tell people don't even talk about politics anywhere. They tell the public to basically put up with having no First Amendment when they don't have that power. But then now he's here when the government, the IRS, has said this is illegal for decades. Here he is saying do it. So it's the selective enforcement and the racketeering nature that they know this isn't illegal, but they're telling you it's illegal for you, but not for them. This is a big issue, and I've seen no one raise this. I've seen them raise the race issue here, which is secondary. It isn't even on the radar compared to this attack on the First Amendment. Listen to this.
This month, we're announcing the 2012 launch of African Americans for Obama. Now, I don't think there's a better time than African American History Month to consider the tremendous progress we've made through the sacrifices of so many, or a better time to commit to meeting the very real challenges we face right now. Every day, I think of the generations of African American men and women who overcame slavery and oppression, risked their own safety to cast a ballot, even gave up their lives to help build a country that lived up to its founding principles. Their extraordinary hope, their unwavering determination changed this country. Their efforts made it possible for somebody like me to be here today. This is another moment when we've got to decide what kind of country we want.
Hit pause. Back it up for 10 seconds. I've got to stop this. Their efforts made it possible for him. He says before that, our campaign is a continuation of that. You're now saying civil rights is a continuation of you. Just because you claim you're part, your dad's from Kenya. Doesn't even look like you. Whatever. They did the racial actuaries. He's less than 10% African, if you even believe what he's saying to you. That part doesn't matter. A lot of white people did vote for you. It shows that most whites aren't what we're told. These people that just hate black folks out of hand. All the white folks constantly worshiping black sports figures. So it's just pure bull. No, it's the minorities that have been taught it's okay to hate whitey. That's what I see in here. And it's funny, and it's cute, and it's corporate sponsored. Side issue. Did you hear him? The civil rights movement, his campaign is a continuation of the civil rights movement. Oh, overturning habeas corpus, due process, saying you'll secretly arrest us and kill us and launch wars anywhere without congressional approval, and wars in Libya and kill 30,000 plus black Africans now, they admit, and torture and murder them in a race war by the Arabs against the blacks. All on record, and you're telling us about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King wouldn't support you, guaranteed. I mean, this is unbelievable. I'm going to Doc Holliday here in a minute. We'll keep him a little bit in the next hour if we need to, but I want to go over this video and audio. Continue with the rest of his garbage. Here it is.
Possible for somebody like me to be here today. This is another moment where we've got to decide what kind of country we want to be. We can either settle for a country where a shrinking number of people do really well, or we can build a nation where everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody does their fair share.
Stop right there. To back it up to everybody does their fair share. We can change the nation where it's fair. That means socialism, communism, which all the big mega banks promote, because you don't even actually get the chicken fee, just enough to make you dependent. They then transfer in the tens of trillions a year in austerity to them, just like what's happening in Europe. Doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from, where you live on the planet, the same 6 mega banks are destroying your future, and they want you to fight over race. That's what Obama's doing here. He's making his politics racial and then claiming he's fighting the man. All these old ladies that were told, you're going to get a free house and free car. They'd say, I'm going to get a free house and free car. And he goes, yes, you are. And the media let him get away with that. And then he didn't even give it to them because he can't. But even the very women he talked to, they didn't. Nobody called him on that. This is a total liar of the highest level, sitting there saying he's a civil rights activist when he's the opposite, saying he's going to fight the big rich guys when he's totally created by them. Just pure lies. This is 100% lies and deception. But the big part's coming up. Go back to it.
Well, or we can build a nation where everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody does their fair share.
Yeah, we can build. Government builds.
Everybody plays by the same rules. This campaign is powered by folks at every level.
Hit pause again. Back it up. I can't handle it. I cannot handle it. Everybody plays by the same rules. There's a fair playing field. You mean where the big mega banks get $27 trillion? You mean where you exempt General Electric from the greenhouse gas rules but not their competition and then let your regulators shut them down? You mean where your insider buddies get tens of billions of dollars in green energy funding while you shut down other U.S. industry, and then the people you finance ship the factories to China? You mean that type of fair playing field? Where you demanded 2 years ago with the stimulus package that the money be given to the big banks and not to the people, and then blame Senator Dodd for it until he released the letter showing that you demanded that the people be screwed and robbed? I mean, he's such a liar, folks. He said he was against the NDAA and then signed it. He wants the devilish cake and to eat it too. All right, that's enough. Go back to the rest of the clip. It's just, you hear the lies for yourself. Here's more of it.
A fair shot. Everybody does their fair share, and everybody plays by the same rules. This campaign is powered by folks at every level, taking ownership where it matters most. Around the kitchen table, in barbershops and beauty salons.
Hit pause, back it up again. I just cannot handle it right now. Did you catch that? Everybody pays their fair share. Everybody works his hard. Everybody, really, everybody's by the same rules, like the illegal aliens who are above the law and get to have drunk driver wrecks and not get arrested, or $10 fines, and you accept fake consular matricula cards the Mexican government issues to anybody, $5, $10 a piece, because they know they're getting welfare on it, sending it back to Mexico. You mean all that selective enforcement? You mean how you ship guns to Mexico? You mean how the ICE has been caught being ordered to legalize the illegal aliens and to release violent felons when they get released from prison, to not deport them? But you throw the book at citizens because we're seen as dumb schmucks? Continue. Back to Obama.
Really well. Or we can build a nation where everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody does their fair share. And everybody plays by the same rules. This campaign is powered by folks at every level, taking ownership where it matters most. Around the kitchen table, in barbershops and beauty salons, in your faith community, at work, or at school. And of course, in the voting booth this election day, because we are greater together than we can ever be on our own. Visit AfricanAmericans.BarackObama.com for more information about all the ways you can get involved. From attending HBCU organizing workshops to becoming a congregation captain. And say you're ready to keep making history. Thanks, and see you out there.
Congregation captains. Notice even has the military term for that civilian force that's bigger and larger and all the rest of it. I'm going to go to Doc Holliday, our guest, because he pointed out to me there have been fights and attacks all over Orlando since Obama came to town. They've been airing these ads on TV about how, it's about us, we, we're black, you're white. And here it is, cops still at Florida Mall after riot last night over new Nikes. And this is the type of stuff. This is News 15 reporting on this. We're about to go to break. We'll have him for 2 segments. I appreciate him sitting there while I went over all of this. But Doc Holliday's on the radio on 8:10 a.m. right before I am on every day. And I'm traveling there tomorrow to then speak Sunday. But this is the type of garbage we're seeing and that's going on. Tell us when we come back from break what you're going to be breaking down here.
The bottom line is that, first off, that announcement from Obama, that's about as criminally racially as you could possibly get. But it's divided the community. We have the NBA All-Star Game here, and the NBA All-Star Game, of course, is an ethnic event, but Obama planned his trip around that, and suddenly that is being run as a PSA on various radio stations, on TV stations. They're running the video, and it's really upset some people. It's also charged a lot of people up on a different level, bringing up slavery again, invoking the image of Martin Luther King. We don't need to go back to slavery. For God's sakes, the Great Divider has taken us back in time. And so people were getting wrapped up. The All-Star Game is here for us. They built a big fence around the Amway Arena, so we possibly couldn't see all the big rappers and everything that was going on in town, and the local businesses are being put aside. And there was a riot last night because a whole bunch of young ethnic teens, and that's all I'm going to say, showed up on a whim that some apparently glow-in-the-dark shoes were available, and these were Obama's people, and they started a huge fight, and the cops had to be pulled in. And of course the liberal media, you know what they do? The liberal media only shows the white cop with the shaved head chasing down a poor little ethnic fella on a horse, and it was portrayed totally wrong. And Obama...
Well, that's what's done. This is part of this problem, reaction, solution, synthesis, where they make it about race. We'll be right back. I want to be clear, it's illegal that Obama is telling conservative libertarian churches don't even discuss politics in the pews. I mean, that is wild when there's no jurisdiction. But then he's saying, I need election captains in all the churches voting for me. And it does start to violate church and state when the president himself is going and getting involved. I mean, it may even cross that line. You don't want a state religion. That's what the First Amendment is against. And the state religion under this New World Order is worship of government and corruption. But, I mean, that is hiding in plain view. It is so big. After Doc Holliday leaves us, we've got a guest coming on. It ties into this. Report, more than 100,000 Americans are domestic terrorists. They're now saying the Tea Party movement and sovereign citizen anti-Agenda 21 movement are a bigger threat than Islamic terrorists. I told you for a long time, the white Al-Qaeda ads they're running where all the terrorists are white, everybody reporting them as a minority. This is going to be really bad. I mean, if you're a white person, folks, you got a crosshair on you because you're seen on